Trina with Mega Storage Sheds. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're bringing you a new video with some great information on how to buy a shed. A lot of people are interested in buying a storage building, but they don't know where to start. You know, you buy a house, let's say you buy a house with the massive 20 by 30 garage to fit 2 cars. But guess what? Your garage is completely full. You can't go in there, you can't walk around. Why? Because you still haven't taken stuff out of your boxes. You still have, you know, your Christmas tree. You've got, I don't know, baby shower decorations, holiday decorations, furniture. You've got a whole bunch of stuff in there and you can't park your cars. So you've got a full garage and maybe you're paying for a storage facility. A lot of customers, including myself, I have a storage shed in my backyard and I rent a storage facility. Yeah, I know it's crazy. Why? Because one, I didn't measure adequately when I had my building done, and lo and behold, now I need more space. So my garage is now full and I'm paying for a storage building. So we're going to get into some interesting topics today. We're going to talk about what to look for, do's and don'ts, pros and cons, tips. We're going to touch a whole bunch of different varieties and angles. So if you're interested in finding out some more information, stay tuned and keep watching. So first topic of conversation is going to be, let me go back to my notes because I have a lot of notes to go back to. There's a lot of tips, so I might get tongue-tied or go from one topic to another, and forgive me if I do that, you know, don't hate me for it. First topic is going to be to measure. When you decide that you want to have a storage shed built, first thing to do is to go out to your backyard, measure, take a look, see what your spacing allows you. Before you even do that, actually, there we go. See, I just did that there. You want to first take a look at your survey. If you have a home, property, acreage, homestead, anything like that, you want to first take a look at your survey. Because why? On your survey, it's going to have a lot of important information as far as let me think. As far as restrictions? Restrictions, which would be building easements that have utility lines, underground lines, gas lines, property lines, things that terms that are very hard to explain, that we're going to get into in another video that's going to explain that's pretty much for HOA purposes, but we'll get into that in another video. But again, you want to first check your survey to see what guidelines you have to follow on your survey, because let's just say hypothetically, if you want to do a I don't know, 16 by 24 storage building, and your backyard doesn't allow for it because you have a 15-foot building easement. That means you have to be 15 feet off of X amount of side fences, property lines, and whatnot. So that's going to cut into the amount of space that you want to have built. That's something that a lot of customers tend to forget sometimes. You know, we have customers who call us and they want a massive structure because they have a really big backyard, and they decide that they want to do something big like a I don't know, 16 by 32 structure, which is huge, and then come to find out once they submit their application for an HOA, they get denied because the location that they want to have it placed on doesn't allow it. They have to be a certain amount off of their property lines or utility lines or easements, as they call it. So you also want to visualize the amount of space that you have. Let's say if everything that you have accumulated is in your garage, you kind of want to, let's say, make a little pile of the bigger stuff, or get everything together, see what dimension you have roughly. Let's say if you have I don't know, extra fridge, a washer and a dryer that you don't no longer use, and you have a couple of boxes, and lawnmower. Lawnmower is always something that every homeowner has. So you want to compile those all together, take a measuring tape, measure what the spacing around it. It may be roughly about 8 feet or so, if that, probably maybe less than 8 feet. But you want to go ahead and measure, take a look and see how much space your stuff is going to take up. Based upon that, you can kind of go ahead and then decide what size building you want. Take in mind, just because, let's say if you have a riding mower and it's, I don't know, I think they're about 4 feet in width by maybe 5 feet in length or something. They're like 72 inches or so. You don't want to have a building that's the exact space of that. Why? Because sooner or later you're going to outgrow it, and that's what a lot of people tend to forget. Over time, you know, if you're a single family right now, if you're just two people, husband and wife, newlyweds. Over time you're going to have kids, or you may not have kids or whatnot, or you may have family members that move in with you or something like that. You're going to accumulate stuff. You don't want to make the mistake of getting a small storage building and then you don't have enough space anymore and you've got to move on to another size building. So you want to make sure that you have enough space that's going to fit the items that you currently have and that you may have in the future. Our buildings are typically, our starting size roughly is like 8 by 8, which is 64 square feet. 64 square feet is not too big, and it's not too small either. That's going to fit maybe like a lawnmower, a couple of boxes, a couple of bikes, things like that. Some smaller items, some garden equipment, household items, things like that. But you always want to visualize and think ahead. You want to make sure and think ahead and visualize for the future. Like I said, you want to have enough space to fit everything comfortably. So once you're done measuring and figuring out what size you're going to want, next step to do is to search. Searching is going to be crucial for you finding somebody who does a storage shed building for you. You want to find a local company maybe that's close to your area. First thing you're going to do, of course, everybody usually has a smartphone on hand. Go into your smartphone, go into your Safari, Google whatnot, look up storage sheds. For example, I'm Houston, so storage sheds Houston is what I'll look up. Storage sheds Houston, we've got maybe I don't know, 10 or so companies that supposedly say that they do storage sheds. And again, we'll go into topics as far as what to look for, and you can see in here it's about 10 companies locally, but we'll go into that in another video. Once you find the person that you want to go with, or what I would definitely suggest is not sticking to one company. I would like for you guys to go out and get maybe 3 to 4 different estimates. Go with like your highest company and your lowest, and then you can get 2 that are in between. You want to go ahead and have options to go with. You have your higher competitor up here at the top, and then you have our lower competitor here at the down at the bottom. And usually, as the saying goes, you don't want to go with the lowest company. Why? Because you are going to get what you pay for. If it's too good to be true, 9 times out of 10 it is too good to be true, and that's something that we are going to touch base again in another video, because we are actually, I think that in this series we may also create a story time. Story time, I think, is really popular, and it gives you an insight as far as what has happened to us as a company here with customers or other clients that come from X places, and they come here and they want advice or solutions to their current problems that they're dealing with. So I think we'll create maybe like a story time and give you guys an insight on that. Let's see, what else can we look up into? Oh, yeah, so when you do your Google search or your Yahoo search, Safari, whatnot, however you do your searches, you also want to go in and check out reviews. After you have, your company, your 4 companies that you're going to go with, you want to search them up, do reviews. Check them out. If you're local here in Texas, you can do what's called the BBB, which is the Better Business Bureau. We are members of the Better Business Bureau. We've been here in the Better Business Bureau for quite some time now. You want to go ahead and do that. You can also do searches on Angie's List. There's also a place that you can do searches on, it's called Ripoff Report. Do some reviews, do some searching on them, a little bit of background check. You can always search them. My number 1 recommendation would be to look up on the Better Business Bureau, something that will give you 100% authentic reviews, and it'll also give you the rating. The Better Business Bureau is by far, I think, the best location and the best place that you can look for it. But again, we're going to have some more information for you on a future video on where to search at, and tips and tricks on where you can actually dive in and get some more dirt on the people that you're hopefully going to work with in the future. Let's see here. Now, going back to the reviews. Nowadays, it's really easy for you to go ahead and search up any one of the companies that you're going to look for. Let's say maybe 15 years ago it wasn't as hard. 15 years ago, you kind of had to depend on word of mouth, or if somebody knew of X company to do your building for you. That's the way it worked a long time ago. Now it's very, very easy. It's at the palm of your hand. You just search in, type it up, and get some standard information on who it is that you're going to do your business with, and you can kind of go from there. So once you guys have went out, viewed the models, talked with the sales rep, maybe had a consultant come out to your property and give you some ideas as far as what would work with your spacing, you want to go ahead and get everything in writing. Getting everything in writing is crucial. You want to make sure that they provide you with an estimate. For example, us. Here at Mega Storage Sheds, we provide you with an itemized estimate. So when a customer comes to me and they say, I want I want a 10 by 16 hip style storage building with 2 windows, an exterior door, wiring on it, electrical wiring, and upgrade siding. When I send you guys out an estimate, it's going to be itemized estimate. Everything is going to be detailed specifically. It's not going to be, it's very rare that we'll send you out a lump sum estimate, but we'll send you out an itemized estimate. That way you guys can pick and choose as far as what would work with your budget and what wouldn't work with your budget. You want to make sure that when they send you out an estimate, it is on a company letterhead. You want to make sure that they have all their contact information on there where you can reach them, hopefully maybe their physical address or their shipping address, contact information, email address, and the sales rep that you're dealing with. When I send out my estimates, I always have my contact information in there so that customers can reach me, and I always let them know as well my hours are X hours to X hours. You want to get that all in writing so that way there's no mishaps and no mistakes as far as, well, I mentioned this and this is not what I got. You always want to make sure everything is clear in writing. That way there's no room for errors whatsoever. You want to ask them, what are their terms? How do they work? Do they request any type of deposit up front? Do they take a full payment at the end? Do they work with you on financing? Is there an option for a deposit now and then can I schedule a building, I don't know, 3 months from now, 6 months from now? There's a variation of options. We work in a lot of different options to help the customer. You want to make sure that you get that also in writing, their terms, or when you speak to someone that they're very clear with what their terms are going to be. If you are doing once you're doing a contract with the company, you want to also make sure that, very important, you want to make sure that you always pay either with a credit card or a check. When you do a check, you want to always make it out to the company name. Okay, so after you've done your picking your companies and you've done your searching on them, checked out their background a little bit, you can then, what I would definitely suggest to then do is to set up an appointment with them or call them, see if they have some models that you can come and take a look at. So when you come and take a look at their models, you want to go ahead and look at the quality of construction. Quality of construction is going to be the #1 thing that will give you a feel for the type of product that they offer. If you come out and you see that their buildings don't look anything like, let's say they have a website and their buildings don't look anything like what's on their pictures, that should be a red flag for you there. That's something, again, we'll go into in another video as well. But you want to go ahead and come out, take a look at their models. They may not have the exact model that you're looking for, just keep that in mind. They may have something similar to what you're looking for. So keep an open mind, when you go out to view models, just keep an open mind, visualize it. Like I said, they may not have the exact size that you're looking for, but visualize it and look at the quality of construction, #1. Quality of construction, the person that you meet with, the sales rep, make sure you get their name, information, make sure that it is somebody that you can go ahead and contact in the future if you have any questions. If you exchange phone numbers with them, make sure that, like I said, that they get your information correctly. That way there's no mishaps as far as, oh, I misspelled your name, or I forgot your phone number or your email or whatnot. Let's see here. If they offer you option for on-site estimates at your property, whether it's a free estimate or if it's a trip service fee estimate, I would definitely want to suggest you to take advantage of that, because that's also something that's going to be beneficial for you. It's going to help you out tremendously. If you have no clue what you're looking for, what style, what size, what options you may want to have on it, you definitely want to take advantage of the, like I said, either a free estimate or a trip fee estimate. You definitely want to take advantage of that, because that's going to be very helpful for you. Once you guys have decided who you're going to purchase from, the next thing to do is to ask the company what you need to do prior to them coming out as far as site prep. Site prep will include any type of preparation that you as a consumer have to do prior, which would be mowing your grass, making sure that there's no trash, any tree stumps, any shrubs, any pet waste, anything like that, any type of preparation that you may need to do to the ground prior if your area is uneven, if you have to level it out, things of that nature. You also want to ask the company what time you can expect the crew to arrive, how long the construction will kind of take, as far as depending on your building, they'll let you know how long it will take. If you need to be at home for the installation, we would recommend that yes, somebody is at home, so that way in case there's any mishaps or confusions, or if you have any questions on something, somebody's there to go ahead and advise them as far as, let's say, window placement or door placement or building placement, just general things in question, or you never know, sometimes things happen that are unexpected, and we would request that somebody is available throughout the installation process. Those are things that we'll get into in a future video as well. As far as site prep, we have a lot of content and a lot of information for you to go ahead and get informed and know what you have to do as a consumer to prep for an installation. As far as that goes for right now, we will also get into once the building is complete. Once they've completed, you're going to come out, take a look at your building, inspect it. You want to go ahead and make sure that it's adequate, that, you know, check your nails, check your doors, make sure everything is fine with your door, make sure it closes when you step into it. Is it teeter-tottering? That's something that you don't want to have happen ever in a building. You want to make sure that it's level and set. You want to make sure that they've cleaned up around. You know, that's another thing too. When the company comes out, they are in charge. Make sure you check with them to see if they're in charge of cleaning up after, which should be included. It definitely should be included, but I mean, to each their own. But you want to make sure, see if you have to clean up the area after they're done, or is that something that's included with your building installation. Building installation, it causes a lot of mess, a lot of trash all over the place, so you want to make sure that that's something that's also made aware of ahead of time. You don't want to, you know, come out and expect to come into your storage building and then you have trash all over and you got to come out and still pick it up. You know, us as here at Mega Storage Sheds, that's included with your building installation. We clear up all of your trash. We go through your grass with the magnet, also pick up all the maybe nails or staples that may have fallen out. That's also included with your order through us. That's something that we pride ourselves on, is making sure that the way that we arrive to your home, and your backyard is completely pristine, clean, that's the same way that we're going to leave your property. You know, we leave your property intact. There's no gutting up your grass, there's no tearing up into your driveway, there's no mess thrown around all over your property. You know, we pride ourselves on taking care of our customer and treating our customer's house as if it was our own. I hope that this video was informative for you guys. I hope that you guys got a lot of information from it. If you have any questions on any of the topics that we discussed, please feel free. You can give us a call. Our information is going to be listed down below in the description box, or if you want to leave a question in the comment section, we'll get back to you in the comment section as well. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, let us know also. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all of our social medias as well, and stay tuned for our next video, which is going to be really, really good. It's going to have a lot of great information as well.